warm welcome to Sfunukwazi, a show that is made especially for you, a show that is made to enlighten, inform and clarify you. At last, something that will act as the eyes, the ears and the voice of students. All of this made, of course, possible by you, the students. My name is Elizabeth Matilso Debela and I'll be your host for the duration of the show. On today's show, my panel of guests consists of the previous SRC presidents and our current SRC president. Stay tuned as I clobber them with questions. Sfunukwazi. My next guest is Mr. Ranwedzi Mudau. Thank you very much for joining us, most Sfunukwazi.
All of you, you're welcome.
Mr. Mudau, the position that you held in the previous SRC, correct me if I'm wrong, was that of Deputy President.
Yes, indeed, it was.
Was that the only position that you held?
Well, I also had a position at the central level where I was the Deputy President external.
So those were the positions that you held
yes.
while in office?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a POA in your capacity as Deputy President?
Yeah, well, I had my POA. But in actual fact, my POA was in collaboration with the constitution of the SRC. What I used to do was that I had to represent students on academic matters at the management level and then at the Senate. The other thing that was part of my POA was the Interfaculty Conference. The other one was that I was the head of the disciplinary committee within the SRC.
Okay. Did you have a mandate from the students?
Yeah, well, indeed, we had a mandate from students. Like a student had to request us to go and represent them when they were not registering. When they realized that the current cafeteria was unaffordable, they had to give us a mandate and to go and represent them at the management.
So, okay, from what I'm hearing now, you had two POAs. The one that corresponded with the mandate from the students and the one that was supported by the constitution of the SRC.
Yes.
And from those two POAs, what were the accomplishments and failures? Well,
we managed to register thousands of students in the beginning of the year when the management was refusing them to give them access to be in the system. We had several meetings with the management in terms of termination of the contract with Shawa. However, with that one, it was a bit difficult because the contract was towards the end, and for the university to terminate that contract, the university needed money, and at this point in time, the university is bankrupt. They did not have money, so we tried to push that one, but we could not do it at the right time, which student preferred. However, we still went on. Right now, as I'm speaking, this current catering company will be leaving soon. We dealt with it via grants.
When you say that, okay, what were the failures that you had with the two POAs that you're supposed to carry out?
Okay, yeah, like I was saying, in terms of the cafeteria, it's not a failure as such, but we all wanted to terminate the contract, which as an SRC we could not do due to some technicalities that were present. That was more in terms of financial status of the university. The university could not pay the lawyers of Sichao in termination with the contract. The other thing that I must say is that I was the chief organizer of the Interfaculty Conference, which we had, which was very much successful. In that conference, we had speakers like Winnie Mandela, she was here. And we also resolved in that conference. We had resolutions which we forwarded to the management. We forwarded those resolutions to the Minister of Education and also to the President of the country, Thabo Mbeki.
Earlier on, you said something about Medunsa being bankrupt, or the university being bankrupt. What do you mean the university is bankrupt?
Well, the current financial status of the university, when I speak of the university, I'm talking about this university, the now University of Limpopo. Well, we had problems when these amalgamations of the two institutions came in. Well, as Medunsa, we had good financial status, but the other institution, which is the University of the North, was owing millions. So, as a result or as a consequence of the decision that was made by the government, we were left in debts as a university.
So the merger, from what you're telling us, is that the merger doesn't at all favor the Medunsa students.
Not at all. I must be clear. I must say that. Yes. Not at all. Primarily because in the past, as Medunsa students, we never had problems such that you find students not registering because they don't have money, or you find students not registering because they are owing the institution. That was because the then status of the university was good. I'm saying in terms of financials, it was good, such that the then management did not mind students registering even without money, and even those who were registering, while they were having debts, irrespective of financial status of students. Students used to register. So that was not a challenge of the SRC. It only started with us. The previous SRC never had such problems because we were in good standing in terms of finances as Medunsa.
Yes. So obviously it's an obvious problem. What would you advise the current SRC to go about the matter of this measure?
Well, constitutionally, I must say that the SRC should always liaise with the students. They should call the student body. The students themselves should guide them on what is to be done pertaining to their problems. They should also ask from advices from previous SRCs and from other people who are not oppositions. I would not say we need to have guidance from management side, because they are the ones who are fighting.
Mr. Mudau, most SLC members are most likely to fall prey on temptations such as the hiring of cars on weekends and unnecessary spending of student funds. These are the things that students mostly complain about. Am I right to say that those are temptations?
In actual fact, in my response, I would say, you see, students tend to think that when you are in the SRC, you are having a direct access to university resources, which is not true. Because for you to have SRC resources, you must first have, it must actually be in collaboration with the student mandate. You must be representing students. At the end, you cannot hire a car, or you cannot have any university resource based on personal agendas. You need to do, for you to access university resources, you must be representing students.
So what you're saying is that there's no such thing?
There's no such things. I mean, people always wrote things, I know. People always wrote articles about the SRCs, but you know, there's actually no reality on that. And I must say that, you know, we condemn that, because it's wrong for people to go and write about others You know, some people were insulted in those papers. You know, it's wrong. I must say that it's wrong. You know, it's unprofessional. Because what usually happens is that it is the oppositions who will write things, who will create things about the SRC, which is actually not true. However, we always advised people and political structures to campaign in a right manner. People must campaign, and if people did not make it, they mustn't come up with it's not the right way of making up stories and you know, paste it somewhere, the student cafeteria where students are going to read. Well, we never took that serious. I mean, as an SRC, because we knew that we knew people who were doing it. So we never gave it an attention. We never gave an attention to that. But we really condemn that. It's unprofessional. It's unprofessional and it's wrong.
So there's from what you're saying is that there's a clash of interest in the SRC offices, whereby a different deployee from a different organization will take means, will make means and ways in order to get back to another organization.
Yeah, well, what happens is that people who write those things are not people who are in the SRC. They are not SRC deployees from different structures. It's usually it's one structure. It's one political structure that will do those things in order to sell the SRCs to students based on wrong issues. You see?
Okay.
Yes.
So the tsunamis, the hurricanes, there are strategies, there are campaigning strategies from oppositions.
Yeah. Well, they are campaigning strategies, but like I'm saying, it's not a good way of doing things. It's not a good way of doing things.
It's propaganda.
Those were propagandas, I must say. Those were propagandas. It's not the right way of doing things. People should campaign. People should campaign and make sure that they win in the next elections, and then they will lead students. But in a correct manner, through correct channels.
Wow. Mr. Ranwedzi Mudau, Sfunukwazi thanks you very much for seeing the importance of availing yourself for this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
It rained hurricanes, it rained tsunamis. Today, namhlanje, it's raining Sfunukwazi. Fellow students, Sfunukwazi is here to stay. With your support, we're gonna go a long way because we as students really want to know. I wanna thank my guests that were here today and say that they must just keep it up and do a good job, especially to the current SRC. We're looking forward to seeing what you have in store for us.